Hello dear all. So today in this lecture we discuss homeopathic therapeutics in the field of endocrinology. In this chapter Dr. H.A. Roberts has discussed at length role of our homeopathic remedies, deep acting remedies or constitutional remedies, or also we call it as polycrest remedies. So their indication and their role in the affections of endocrines is discussed. So let's see further. What is the view of modern physiologists? So they consider human diseases are traceable to dysfunction of glandular system. So many of our diseases are due to the dysfunction of glandular system. Endocrine imbalance is responsible for growth problem, over or underdevelopment of body parts, maladjustment to environment, and there are also interpersonal relation problems which occur. So, the modern physiologists attribute that various human diseases are traceable or correlated with the dysfunction of glandular system. Teachings of endocrinologists, they also say that human being is a unit of mind, body and spirit. What Dr. Hahnemann has already said, that is called as Trinity of Life. Health is due to harmony and equilibrium maintained in the function of various organs due to function of vital principle. It governs and controls the function of endocrines. So, health is the harmony and equilibrium which is maintained in the functioning of various organs due to the harmonious function of vital principle, that is our vital energy or life principle. This vital energy is ultimately responsible for control of the function of endocrines. Now let's see what is the importance of glandular system. These endocrine glands are ductless glands. They secrete very small, almost infinitesimal amount of secretions directly in the blood. Homeopathic remedies are also dynamic in nature and their dose is infinitesimal. So their potencies are correlated with the infinitesimal dose. Can check the dysfunction of ductless glands. So homeopathic remedies can control and normalize the ductless glands which have undergone some alteration in their normal function. Physicians find subject is difficult to understand. So many physicians find this endocrinology subject difficult to understand. Newness of subject, lack of accurate knowledge of function or secretion of ductless gland is responsible for this difficulty physicians face to understand this subject. The intricate relationship of secretion of ductless glands is very important. The functioning of these ductless glands is very difficult to understand. Animal experiments are correlated with functions in man, but this can't be accepted. So, what is the further reasons? The susceptibility of the patient, the glandular functioning of patient, the cellular receptivity of these glands with respect to our homeopathic remedies, and interrelation with secretions of other glands needs to be understood in details. What is the effect of other metabolic factors? What is the effect of disease process on this functioning of these glands? What are the symptoms which are appearing in the patients needs to be studied in detail. Now, this disease process we are understanding as vital disorder. So, dysfunctioning of gland is not the disease, but the dysfunctioning of gland is due to the disease in the vital energy. So, what we call it as vital disorder. So, physician must be first a good endocrinologist. He should have the knowledge of the functioning of endocrine glands. So, he should have knowledge of anatomy and autonomous nervous system. He should have the knowledge of functioning of endocrine glands. Balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic divisions by central nervous system must be studied. Vital energy regulates the growth, development, digestion, absorption and assimilation. Physicians must understand the fundamentals of endocrinology. Dr. Werner has said the study of action of drugs on glands through central nervous system. His comments are very similar to Hahnemann's concepts. His work tells many syndromes are caused by glandular dysfunction. It is possible to cure the glandular dysfunction by similima. How? That we'll see. If the failure of the glandular function is not too far advanced, action of drugs is noted in homeopathic materia medica. The symptoms which are there in homeopathic materia medica can be correlated with the symptoms found in the patient due to dysfunctioning of these endocrine glands. So definitely the scope is there to correct this dysfunction of the endocrine glands. So must be studied again to study the action of endocrines. So Dr. Roberts has given number of examples how the role of homeopathic remedies in such cases. So here the before we start further, what we have to keep it in mind is this, that the dysfunction of these endocrine glands is manifested as various symptoms, and these symptoms are recorded in our materia medica. The correlation can be done, but the importance is always given to the totality of symptoms. The most important, the emotions and the mental symptoms of the patient, and the role of the deep acting remedies and polycrest remedies in the treatment of this glandular dysfunction is discussed further. So, for example, a case where of diabetes is discussed. So study shows that insulin replacement at first causes decrease in sugar levels, but then it is increased. Patient's sugar level was maintained low with small amount of insulin doses than large amount of insulin she was receiving. So this is the observation that patient's sugar level was maintained at lower with small amount of insulin doses than the large amount of insulin patient was receiving. So the lower range of sugar was obtained by administration of small amount of insulin doses. Begin the treatment with homeopathy. So if required can give insulin later. So how to begin the treatment in such condition with homeopathic remedies? If required, you can give insulin later. Refer to the repertory sugar in urine. So these are various hints are given by Dr. Roberts. So we can study repertory, we can study homeopathic materia medica and deep acting remedies with emotional state. So the physician should have the knowledge of materia medica in depth as well as he should study the repertory for various rubrics which are formed by studying the patient's symptoms. Even in surgical condition, they yield to the similimum and proper diet if given prior to the surgery. It is necessary to save the life of the patient. Important symptoms are subjective symptoms. Subjective symptoms means which are narrated by the patient himself. So these symptoms are important for the choice of similimum. Important are polycrest remedies. Dr. Kent has given the list like Kali's group, Lycopodium, phosphorus. These are deep acting remedies. They act deep in the interior. And what is that deep in interior? Nothing but they act on vital energy. Where is this vital energy? It is very subtle, fine, present in every cell in dynamic form as the life energy. The function of endocrine glands is controlled by neuroendocrinal axis, and this neuroendocrinal axis is nothing but the central nervous system controlling the functioning of endocrine glands. Now, who functions and who controls the central nervous system is this vital energy, the supreme power, which is the life power of the individual. So, our homeopathic remedies, which are dynamic in nature, infinitesimal in doses, that is, infinitely small doses. So, after 6C potency, the drug substance no longer present in these potencies. So, they become infinitely small dose means there is no upper limit for the divisibility of this potency. Our homeopathic remedies are dynamic in nature and they act on this disturbed vital energy. So, this vital energy controls the glandular system and our remedies act on this vital energy and they correct this dysfunction of the vital energy and automatically the dysfunction of glandular system is also corrected. Second case is of the patient in menopausal age. Women give wealth of symptoms at this age. Important are again subjective symptoms at this climacteric period. At such period, lachesis is very important remedy. Third case is about the vomiting during pregnancy. Remedies like arsenic, bryonia, colchicum, kali, petroleum, phosphorus, sulfur, veratrum oil, Aletris farinosa for muscular atrophy and chlorotic history is given. Dr. Sutherland's list of nosodes is sorinum, syphilinum and tuberculinum. Case 4 is of enlarged thymus. Enlargement of gland does not cause death, but influence of vagus nerve and its action on heart is known. So here necessity of constitutional remedy is there. Child is apparently in good health, so constitutional remedy is administered. Case 5 is of retardation of mind and body. In children, cases of mental retardation, homeopathy also has good results. Calcarea group, silica, sulfur, kali, as well as boraita, they are having good role in these cases. Mental and emotional symptom is the best indication to similima. Action of different potencies is a tool of a homeopath. In homeopathy, action is not as feeding regular glandular secretions. Means we are not administering the thyroid hormone, we are not administering any hormone directly, but we are giving our remedies which are the already proved on healthy human beings and their symptoms are recorded in homeopathic materia medica. So our homeopathic remedies act on this vital energy. So what are the symptoms of vital energy? Nothing but emotions, mental symptoms, and the remedies are able to correct this dysfunction, and automatically the glandular dysfunction is also corrected. So they are polycrest remedies noted in the repertory. Glandular affections is the rubric which is there in repertory. Pulsatilla does not appear frequently. Lycopodium is ancient plant and has not changed in appearance. Its basic qualities are inherent in the development of life. So we can note its influence on organic functions of the body. So the meaning is Lycopodium is an ancient plant and it has not changed its appearance. So during evolution also Lycopodium is the same. So its basic qualities are inherent in the development of its life. So its role in the developmental problems which are seen in the patient is very important. Greatest polycrest is sulfur. Its role in the mental retardation and history of suppression of skin symptom is very important. Sulfur also has role in diabetes. When well selected remedy fails to act, sulfur is given. The recurrence of disease is there, then also sulfur is indicated. Sulfur and phosphorus. What is the comparison study? Sulfur is indolent and phosphorus is excitable. In sexual sphere, sulfur is erotic and phosphorus is erratic. So, effect on glands and mind, action on genital system, functioning of various states, phosphorus affects the development of body. There is a history of loss of vital fluids, emotional strain, physical strain. Phosphorus is indicated. Phosphoric acid has most important symptom of glycosuria. Now, role of nitric acid. So, what is the action of nitric acid? What is its symptoms? Nitric acid has important role in the glandular dysfunction. It is antisoric, antisyphilitic and antipsychotic. The patient is very sensitive, aggravation by jar, motion, change of weather. Fingers become cold, pale, and most important is the splinter like sensation in the tonsil. There is disturbance of sexual function, lasciviousness. It is indicated in old people with excessive prostration. Another remedy, most important polycrest remedy, is Lycopodium. It is the trio of homeopathic materia medica, Lycopodium, sulfur, calcarea. Most important trio, Lycopodium, is present. It has action on swollen glands, acute glandular affections. It has action on bony tissues. There is a furrow on forehead. Lycopodium person is having bloated abdomen, thin face of upper chest, plump trunk, burning pain like sulfur and phosphorus, flatulent remedy, and heartburn is present like carbovage. Natrum group has tremendous action on thyroid gland. So various natrum group remedies we will study. Gloominess, mental depression calls for natrum group of remedies. Aversion to consolation, potentization of the drug is done, and then we can see their action. The hidden power is liberated from the drugs, and that drug has got action on the mind of the prover, and these symptoms are noted in materia medica. Thus, homeopathic remedies are having action on the mind and emotions. On physical state, there is pathology of organs, drainage of fluids, so loss of vital fluids, also very important in natrum group of remedies, especially natrum mur and natrum carb. Falling of strength, sexual excesses causes lack of sexual power. Emaciation of body, that is especially neck, although patient eats well. Remedy like natrum ars has sensation that thyroid body is compressed between thumb and finger. Natrum carb is the remedy where you find heart swelling of thyroid gland. Patient is sensitive to cold. It's a chilly remedy. Aggravation by cold weather, cold water, as well as heat of sun and over study. There is exhaustion from mental exertion, debility, sterility, ailments from heat, stroke. So ailments from heat also, and also person is chilly thermal state. Natrum carb, there is anemia. Natrum carb children are having weak ankles, nervous, chilly patients. They don't study as it is very exhaustive and bores the nose and ears. Natrum carb, adult individual gets priapism, an adult woman is getting sterility. So discharge of mucus and semen after coition is a very classical symptom in natrum carb, that is a cause of sterility. Natrum carb also having its effect during gestation. Weak labor pains, ask for massage. Spraining of wrist and ankles causes dislocation. Another remedy, natrum hypochlorosum and natrum sulph. Natrum hypochlorosum has rapid emaciation, uterus sags, globus hystericus, which rises to upper chest. There is faintness and weakness and weariness. Sleeps while patient sits. Natrum mur has anemia, chilliness, and cold feet. Indigestion in masturbators. Natrum sulph has indigestion, constipation due to melancholy. So all these remedies, deep acting remedies with finer differentiation of symptoms must be studied by physician. Constitutional remedies have effect in correcting the endocrinal dysfunction. They influence the glandular functions along with nervous concomitants. Many remedies are similar to chemical constituents of body. For example, sulfur, silica, phosphorus, kalis, natrums, carbons. So these are present in traces in our body and we are having such remedies also. Lycopodium, nitric acid and nozodes are useful in the endocrinal dysfunctions by studying the symptoms of each drug. Very important caution, don't correlate the remedy with pathology. It is not that all thyroid cases you will require natrum mur. So naming and correlating leading remedies to any pathological condition is incorrect. Important remedies are used in daily practice, but these may not be used in such conditions. So it can be vice versa also. Natrum, we know it is a chronic of ignitia. The tears are the keynote in natrums. Emotional depression in natrum mur. Tears with laughter is natrum mur. Tears with coryza and whooping cough is natrum mur. Strong desire of salt is natrum mur. Hyperemesis during pregnancy, history of malaria, overdosing of quinine, adult with glandular affection, slow learning to walk, and patient is having the habit of eating earth. Ignitia is very good for diabetes following mental shock. Remedies like natrum phos and natrum sulph are also very important. Natrum phos you will find when there is excess of lactic acid in diet, improper development in children, there is history of diabetes. So very important that improper development in children. Sexual weaknesses, weak back, trembling limbs, tension of muscles. So natrum phos is indicated. Gloomy state, hydrogenoid constitution, enlargement of liver and spleen, and head injuries after long ago trauma, and patients also sometimes of leukemia, where you will find natrum sulph is indicated. So, prominent hydrogenoid constitution, natrum sulph is indicated. There are 21 types of kalis which are described by T.F. Allen and Clark. So let's see few. Insidious action, slow action, destructive action on organs and tissues by kalis. Glandular dysfunction you will find prominently in kalis. Antisyphilitic action is there. Ulceration of mucous membrane and destruction of nasal bones also found in Kali. You will also find the antisyphilitic action, there is antipsychotic action also. So psychotic patients are obese, anemia, loss of memory, nervous, inability to exert mind. There are catarrhal discharges and history of acute gonorrhea. Kalis are chronic kali. You will find patients of short stature, chubby with anemia. There are dull mentally, loss of memory, insanity, fearful, apprehensive, fear of death, startles at slight noise. Natrums are aggravated by mental exertions. Natrums are sad and Kalis are fearful. So that minute differentiation is discussed. Natrums are sad, dull, depressed, gloomy, and Kalis are fearful. Kali aceticum for diabetes. Kali arsenicum for exophthalmic goiter. They are quarrelsome, jealous, discontented. Kali brom acne in adults. Kali phos and Kali bro patients are mentally degenerated, especially in children and aged. Kali brom you will find diabetes, impotency, masturbation. There is sensation that while walking cannot walk ahead of certain point. So Kali brom also important for diabetes. Kali phos and Kalika. So Kali phos they flush due to nervousness, anemia is there, atrophy of male organs, nymphomania, sexual excitement, suppressed sexual excitement. Kalika wants to lie down in street, so weakness, exhaustion, menopausal women, disorders of pregnancy, anemia, obesity is a feature of Kalika. Kali ferrocinatum or Kali iode. See what are the symptoms like sepia in uterine sphere. These people are chlorotic. There is dysmenorrhea, dyspepsia, fatty degeneration of heart is there in Kali ferrocinatum. In Kali iode, it is indicated for goiter, atrophy of testes and mammae. Kali mur is indicated for swollen glands. So Kali mur for swollen glands, blows, cuts, bruises, glandular troubles following vaccinations, and Hodgkin's disease. Kali's the mucous surface they are having action. Kali mur produces white secretions of mucus. Very important remedy silica. So growth and development of mind and body is affected. So indication of silica is there. Development of bony structure and teeth. So affection of bony structure and teeth very important and silica is indicated. Important for knitting. Knitting means repair of tissues after trauma surgery. So the tissues are they are very weak, fragile. Silica is indicated. It is for removing the keloid or scar. Ailments from vaccinations and food sweats. Clinically used in elephantiasis. So found clinically that it is also useful in elephantiasis. That is the due to filaria. So action on blood and glandular swellings, suppurative tendencies, weak spine, caries, abscesses, fistula, hernia, hydrocele, silica is indicated. So various remedies which are deep acting and polycrest. So the emotional symptoms, the mental symptoms and the action of the dysfunction of glands. Homeopathic remedies have wonderful action and they are having the action as they are dynamic in nature. They have action on this dynamic vital energy and they correct the glandular dysfunction. Thank you.